Good day, everyone. You're welcome to my YouTube channel, Everything Medical. On today's video, I will be treating the gross anatomy of the femoral triangle. Let's delve into the class proper. The first thing that we'll be looking on this video is the introduction of the femoral triangle. First is introduction. What is the concept of femoral triangle? Femoral triangle is a triangular depression that is found in front of the upper one-third of the thigh, below the inguinal ligament. That is the concept of the femoral triangle. Femoral triangle is very, very important for clinical applications such as femoral artery pulsations and some other related clinical correlations. As you proceed with the class, you will come across other clinical correlations related to femoral triangle. The next in line is the boundaries of the femoral triangle. You have the boundaries. The boundaries of femoral triangle. Femoral triangle has boundaries or the walls of the femoral triangle, whichever one. Number one is the lateral boundary. Femoral triangle is bounded laterally by the medial border of the talus muscle, which is the sartorius muscle. The sartorius muscle is the longest muscle in the human body. It can be called the talus muscle. So here is the lateral boundary, the sartorius muscle. This sartorius muscle can be called the talus muscle. Can be called the talus muscle. So the medial boundary forms the medial wall of the femoral triangle. Here is the lateral boundary. Here is the lateral boundary, and here is the lateral boundary, while here is the medial wall. While we'll be talking about the apex, we discover that it is the two medial walls of the muscles that forms the apex. So the lateral boundary is being formed by the medial border of the sartorius muscle, which is the talus muscle. So here we have the lateral boundary. The next is the medial boundary. The medial boundary is formed by the medial border of the adductor longus muscle. So here is the medial boundary by the adductor longus muscle. So we have the medial boundary. This sartorius muscle is the longest muscle in the human body. It originates from the anterior superior iliac spine, as you can see here, which is now the AS, anterior superior iliac spine, from the pelvic bone. Then it inserts in the upper part of the medial shaft of the thigh, at the upper part of the medial surface of the tibia. That is where it inserts. That is the sartorius muscle. Then in the adductor longus muscle, where does it originate? It originates from the anterior surface of the pubic tubercle, below the pubic crest. That is where it originates. Then it inserts at the middle third of the linea aspera of the thigh bone. That is where it is being inserted, and the thigh bone is the femur. So the next in line that we'll be looking on to is the base. Because it is a depression, it must have a base and it must have an apex. So the next in line is the base. The base of this important depression is formed by an inguinal ligament, and the base is directed upward. Look at the inguinal ligament here. Inguinal ligament. It's a very, very profound partition of the body, that is the lower extremities. Then we delve into the next in line, which is the apex. One thing you should notice is that anything that has a base must have an apex. So the apex of the femoral triangle is formed by the meeting point of the medial borders of the sartorius muscle and the adductor longus muscle. And here is the apex, while here it becomes the femoral triangle. So here, this diagram is representing what we call the boundaries of the femoral triangle. So we call it the boundaries of femoral triangle. The boundaries of femoral triangle. The next in line that we'll be looking on to is the floor of the femoral triangle. The floor of the femoral triangle, you have the floor of the femoral triangle. The femoral triangle floor is a guitar-shaped floor and it is muscular. The muscles are arranged from lateral to the medial aspects. This diagram here is depicting the musculatures of the floor of the femoral triangle. So this is the floor of the femoral triangle, the floor of the femoral triangle. Since the muscles are arranged from lateral to the medial aspect, the first muscle that we'll be looking onto here is the iliacus muscle. The iliacus muscle, which is here, the iliacus muscle. The next in line is the tendon of the psoas major. Here is the tendon of the psoas major, or psoas major tendon, psoas major tendon. While the next in line is the pectineus muscle. The pectineus muscle. The pectineus muscle. The last one is the adductor longus muscle. The adductor longus muscle. These are the musculatures that forms the floor of the femoral triangle. Recall that I said previously that it is guitar-like in shape and it is muscular. The structures, which is the muscles, are arranged from lateral to the medial aspect. From lateral to the medial aspect. That is it. The next in line is what we call the roof of the femoral triangle. The roof of the femoral triangle. The roof of the femoral triangle is formed by the fascial lata containing the saphenous opening. The fascial lata is known as the superficial fascia of the thigh, which contains important structures such as number one structure is the superficial branch of femoral artery and accompanying vein. That is the femoral vein which accompanies it, and accompanying vein, femoral vein. The next thing that is found on the roof is what we call the ilioinguinal nerve. The ilioinguinal nerve. The next one is what we call the superficial inguinal lymph node. Superficial inguinal lymph node. The next is what we call the femoral branch of the genitofemoral nerve. The femoral branch of genitofemoral nerve. While the last is the upper part of the great saphenous vein. The upper part of great saphenous vein. These are the structures that is found on the roof of the femoral triangle. The next we'll be looking at is the contents of the femoral triangle. The contents. This diagram here depicts the content of the femoral triangle. The contents of the femoral triangle. The content, femoral triangle. So the next outline is the content. The content here we have the first is the femoral artery and its branches. Here is the femoral artery, is where femoral artery and its branches. The next is the femoral vein and its tributaries. Femoral vein and its tributaries. Here we have the femoral nerve. Now, the next is the lateral cutaneous nerve of the thigh. Here, the lateral cutaneous nerve of the thigh. Cutaneous means skin. That means it innervates the skin of the thigh. The lateral cutaneous nerve of the thigh. The next in line is the deep inguinal lymph node. The deep inguinal lymph node deep inguinal lymph node. The next in line that we'll be looking onto is the saphenous nerve, which arises from the femoral nerve. The saphenous nerve. The saphenous nerve is the longest nerve in the body. The saphenous nerve. The next we'll be looking onto is the lateral circumflex femoral artery. The lateral circumflex femoral artery, I will have it here. Lateral circumflex femoral artery. This muscle right here is our adductor longus muscle. Our adductor longus muscle, which forms the medial wall of the femoral triangle. While right here is the sartorius muscle, that is the talus muscle that forms the lateral wall of the femoral triangle. Sartorius muscle. So this is a very, very important part of this femoral triangle. We are not done yet. Right here is the upper part of the great saphenous vein, or the terminal part of the saphenous vein. So it is the terminal part of great saphenous vein. Great saphenous vein. So this is the boundaries of the femoral triangle. Here is the floor. Right here is the content. The next in line is the clinical correlation. The clinical correlation. Clinical correlation. Or the clinical correlation of the femoral triangle. The first is the femoral artery pulsation. The femoral artery pulsation can be felt on the femoral triangle because the femoral artery traverses the femoral triangle from its base to the apex. And it have numerous branches, the superficial branch and the deep branches. Recall that the femoral vein accompanies the femoral artery while it traverses the femoral triangle. Okay, the next in line is, okay, number one is femoral artery pulsation. Femoral artery pulsation. Femoral artery pulsation. That is number one. Number two could be damage of the groin could lead to the lesion of the neurovascular structures or the vessels that causes around the femoral triangle. It could be as a result of a mechanical injury. So mechanical injury could cause a lesion to the structures that causes on the femoral triangle. I believe we have done justice to the femoral triangle, and I solely believe that you understood what we did here. If you have any question, write it down on the comment section and subscribe to the YouTube channel for more videos like this.